Good afternoon. Welcome to the St. Paul class of 2023B graduation ceremony. My name is Jeremy Baker. I am the Deputy Chief in charge of training for the St. Paul Fire Department. I have had the pleasure and responsibility to oversee the Recruit Academy for your loved one over these last 14 weeks. This ceremony is the culmination of 14 weeks of intense and comprehensive training and builds upon 170 years of proud tradition and service to the residents and visitors of the City of St. Paul. The St. Paul Fire Department Local 21 Honor Guard will now present the colors. Please stand and remain standing during the posting of the colors.
Post. Post. Recover. All uniformed personnel, precinct, halt! Order! Halt! Color guard. Ready? Please. Forward. March.
You may all be seated.
2023B, remove your cap. Remove your cap. Prepare your seat. Take your seat.
We'd like to thank the members of the St. Paul Firefighters Local 21 Honor Guard for their presentation and their dedication to the department. Becoming a firefighter for the City of St. Paul is not easy. We as a department and as a city have high expectations of you all. You have chosen to join a department that values the role of public servant, one that you have come to understand is your role in and out of the fire stations. Your desire and willingness to make a career out of public service and your hard work to make it so are the things we celebrate today. In a short 14 weeks, you have risen to every challenge we laid before you, worked diligently to be in the best physical shape of your life, and studied every lesson we assigned you, all to be prepared to serve the residents and visitors of the City of St. Paul. We are honored to have some special guests here today to help us celebrate with you. They have some messages for you, our newest firefighters. Mayor of St. Paul, Mr. Melvin Carter, has put public safety amongst his most important areas of focus in our shared goal of making St. Paul the best that it can be. Thank you for being here. It's my honor to invite you to the podium.
Good afternoon. It is an honor to share this space and time with all of you. Chief Inks, and St. Paul Fire Department leadership team. Senator Klobuchar, thank you for joining us here. Council President Brimmoen, it's wonderful to see you, and Councilmember Prince, thank you for joining us here today. Chief Tyner, thank you for joining us as well. It's an honor each time we have the opportunity to do this sacred ceremony. In this sacred ceremony, we are excited to welcome our newest graduates into the ranks of the St. Paul Fire Department. Graduates, I know that you have been through a rigorous journey these past 14 weeks. I know you have worked hard to master, among other things, the unison that you exhibited as we were in the hallway. I asked them how they were doing, and then as one voice, they spoke up and said, "We're doing well, sir." And that's just a light thing. But also, you know very well your ability to work together in unison with one another. Your ability to be seamless partners, seamless champions, seamless teammates of one another is anything but light. Is a matter of absolute critical life, health, and safety for you, for your brothers and sisters in uniform, and for every member of our community. We in St. Paul have embodied these past several years what we call our Community First Public Safety Framework. And that is all about ensuring data-driven best practices to keeping our community safe. It always starts with what happens way before something catches fire, way before someone needs an ambulance, way before someone has to call 911, to think through how we as a community make the investments and interventions necessary to prevent and reduce the likelihood that we'll find ourselves having to call 911 in the first place. Our fire department, the men and women of the St. Paul Fire Department, have been on the front lines of this work since day one. We are proud of the ways in which our fire department has been on the front lines. We're proud of the ways in which our fire department has reimagined how we can provide 21st century services to our community. We're proud of the ways our fire department has reached into our communities, into our high schools, and into our neighborhoods to say we can grow our firefighters from within our community. We're proud of the way our fire department has embraced our BLS units. I know many of you have served as part of our BLS teams, and we welcome you into expanding upon these services. What I can tell you about the St. Paul Fire Department is this. It may sound cliche, and we may have heard it before, but it is absolutely true. You are joining a band of people who, as everyday practice, are the ones who run in while everyone else is racing out. You are joining a very proud and strong tradition of life-saving, of emergency response, and at the highest level of community service. We have seen our St. Paul firefighters provide literally every service. One of the examples that I use, we've seen firefighters respond to fires. We've seen firefighters carry us to the hospital in our most challenging emergencies. And even during the height of our COVID-19 pandemic, we saw our new fire academy that year stopped everything to help process applications for emergency financial aid for our community. And I looked at those firefighters and I said, "Thank you for what you do. I know this isn't exactly what you signed up for." And they all looked at me with kind of a quizzical face and they said, "Our job is to help our residents in an emergency. And this is an emergency, and this is how we're helping right now." That commitment to service, that commitment to going above and beyond the call of duty, above and beyond what any job description can say, is a deep part of the calling that you have walked into. I've never served in the uniform that you serve in. As a son of a retired St. Paul police sergeant, though, I have some sense of what this type of service requires. I've learned from my father. I've learned from our chief. I've learned from some of the close friends that I have in this department that your ability to succeed and achieve and to continue through this journey is going to be dependent on many of the same things that have gotten you here, depending on one another, supporting one another, studying hard, and working hard are just some of the things that will help to keep you focused. The other piece is this, and we are here to celebrate our graduates. But before I go, I have to say, graduates, I hope that I know that you are here also to celebrate and thank the people who have been your support system system through this academy. As your support system through this academy, they have been trained over the last 14 weeks as well to be your support system through the calling and the life that you have chosen. So continue to lean on your community. Continue to lean on your family members. Continue to lean on your loved ones for the type of support that you need, because let me tell you, just as serious as you take your charge to care for our community takes serious our charge to care for you as well. So we thank you for that. We thank you for your presence here. I thank all of the families, all of the friends, all of the neighbors, all of the loved ones who have committed yourself in coming to this space to supporting our graduates, supporting our firefighters, supporting our department, and through them, supporting our entire community. And so I thank you all for being here. I don't know if it is my duty to do, but if I could, is it okay if I introduce our next speaker? Oftentimes when I ask questions like that, the answer ends up being yes. If I'm out of order, please somebody let me know. But I would be remiss to not share with you the many, many conversations that I've had with Senator Klobuchar about how we support firefighter safety, how we support firefighter health and well-being, how we set you all up for the opportunity to enjoy all of the benefits of retirement that you'll earn while in this uniform. Our senator has been a leader on the national level for us in addressing firefighter deaths, in addressing cancer rates among firefighters, in addressing literally every single thing that we've asked her to do. She's been a leader in Minnesota. She's been a leader in Washington, D.C. She's someone who calls me often to say, what else does St. Paul need, and how can I be an even stronger champion for our men and women in uniform and for everybody who lives in our community. And I'm just honored to be able to share this space with you. I'm honored to be able to introduce someone who is a good friend, a role model, a champion for St. Paul, a champion for Minnesota, and a champion for firefighters everywhere, our U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar.
I have been honored to have two of the youngest mayors in Minneapolis and St. Paul in the nation. So when they visit Washington, some of the other senators will go, is that a new staff member? I'm like, no, that's the mayor. And Melvin is a good friend, and we are so lucky to have him leading in St. Paul. I'm also honored to be here with the chief and all of the leadership. And all of you who are celebrating Christmas, I know every single one of you is totally organized, and that's why you're here. Everything's done, right? Okay, not me. All right. I want to congratulate our graduates. We're so excited that you have chosen this stellar career that you want to serve at a time when we really need people who are willing to serve our cities, our state, and our country, and especially on this really important job of being on the front line. I want to thank your families and friends. This class has gone through intense training, and I'm sure that there are days when they have been exhausted and come home or come to see you on weekends, and you've been there for them. And one of the reasons they're sitting here in the front row doing this cool thing that every little kid thinks is the coolest job in the world is because of all of you, because you've instilled that love of our country and that respect for service. Today marks the end of your training, but really it is the beginning. From this point on, you will be called, as the mayor noted, to put everything on the line every time you put on that uniform. My husband and I have lived for years with our daughter about 1.5 blocks from a fire station. Yeah, so I have to have a fan on behind my bed permanently because of the sirens. But I love it because every time I hear that siren, I know you're going to help, that you're going to do something. I'm really well aware of how much kids love firefighters because I think we've had 3 of our child's birthdays in the fire station, including one time when there was a sudden hailstorm and we put all the kids in the car because they couldn't walk because of the hail, and I looked out and this boy who was particularly naughty boy came out and had one of your huge wrenches in his lap that he had decided to take. So I know that work and how it is in the middle of the night, the life-saving emergency care. People think about fires, but we know it's a whole lot more than that. And I mentioned before this public trust. We're living at a time where there's just been a lot of breakdown in trust. We're not going to spend this beautiful holiday day analyzing all that, but just to say having people that people trust that show up at their door, that they can call, that they know will be there, means a lot even beyond the particular role you've chosen to play as a firefighter. But I do know how much trusted firefighters are because I just happened this summer at the Minnesota State Fair to take a photo with some of the firefighters who were trying to sell their calendars. They asked me to be in the photo, and some of them didn't have shirts on, and well, it resulted in, are you ready for this, nationally, 30 million views. And I know it's because I was in the photo, all right? But that is an example of the trust I'm talking about. So let's talk a little bit here about St. Paul and how cool the St. Paul Fire Department is. It is the legacy of Captain Paul Barrett, who joined the department in 1980 and served until 2015. During his 35-year career, Captain Barrett rescued a woman in her 70s from her car after an explosion, saved an unconscious man from a smoke-filled building, and rescued a child who was buried in a landslide at Lilydale Park, digging at first with his bare hands. It's also the legacy of Sarah Reesner, who did so well at the World's Strongest Firefighter competition that she was called Wonder Woman by a guy no less named Arnold Schwarzenegger, who you may know as the second star of the movie Predator to be elected a state's governor. And it is the legacy of the St. Paul firefighters who 10 years ago rescued a 17-year-old girl from a burning house. Due to the urgency of the situation, the 2 ER doctors who treated the girl had to actually go inside the burning home. They were later honored for their bravery, as were the firefighters who rescued the girl. But as one of the doctors put it, people are making a big deal that we went into a burning building to save someone, but these guys do it all the time, guys and women. It is standard operating procedure for firefighters. So that is exactly sums up why this work is so heroic. And I would be remiss not to mention the sudden death of SPFD Captain Chris Parsons, who was a good friend, visited me at Washington many times. At 6'7", he was truly larger than life. And he is the one that came to me with the idea because of one of your beloved firefighters in St. Paul who had died for taking on this issue of making sure that the benefits are there for families when a firefighter gets cancer. I am just know in my heart that this equipment is getting better, that we're learning more and more about this. So by the time these graduates get well into their careers, we will have this under control. But for now, it is really, really important that we have the benefits there for people. So I'm going to end with this, since my daughter is on my way home, her way home with my husband, who decided he would drive her from the East Coast because she has a new puppy. Okay. Good dad. One person gets stuck with the tree and everything else. Okay, so, but this happened when she was like 4 years old, and it's about what you're doing, because she was the guardian angel in the nativity play at our church, and she was sitting out in the pews, and she had these huge draping wings on, and she would not go out to practice. And I just said, you need to go out there, you have a big job. You're the guardian angel. And she said, no, I want to be the donkey. And there are these 2 really hot boys in a donkey outfit. And I'm like, you can't be Timmy and Joey are the donkey. And then she says, no, I want to be Mary. And I said, Mary is 14. No, you. I said, you have the best part. You get to go out at the end and spread your wings. And she looked up way to the top of the church and she goes, Mom, I don't know how to tell them. I don't know how to fly. And I said to her that day, you know what, honey? Not all angels fly. So I want to thank you for being the guardian angels for people that, by the way, may not ever know your name. You are giving them the wings to fly, to get them to the hospital, to get them the help they need at the moment, to save their homes, to save their lives, to help their families. You are their guardian angels. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Carter and Senator Klobuchar. Fire Chief Butch Inks has served the city for nearly 40 years and came from our own ranks. He now steers the department with the knowledge of where we have been while pushing us to where we are going. It's my pleasure to invite our Fire Chief, Butch Inks, to the podium. Chief.
Thank you, Chief Baker. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you and welcome to our dignitaries that have taken time out of your schedule to either be here or send their congratulations. Senator Klobuchar, Congressman McCollum, Mayor Carter, Deputy Mayor Tinger, the list is very long, so forgive me if I forget somebody, but Council President Brenmoen, Councilmember Prince, other members of the St. Paul City Council. Additionally, I want to thank Minneapolis Fire Chief Brian Tyner, Assistant Chief Van Vickel, and IFF Local 21's leadership as well as IFF Local 82 leadership is in the house as well. So thank you to everybody. We all appreciate your continued support of our department, our people, and our mission. And your support is a clear indication of the priority you put on public safety and the success of these new firefighters. Welcome families and friends to our celebration for the graduation of these 19 new St. Paul firefighters of the class of 2023B. This is the second academy this year, bringing the total number of firefighters that our training division has trained and onboarded to 35. Unique to this class is that, except for 2 military members who had been slated for a previous academy and had their academy delayed because of military deployments, thank you for your service, the remaining 17 graduates are all products of our Pathways program. Firefighters hired from our Pathways program have experience responding to 911 calls, have knowledge of our city and our stations and crews, and I'm excited for all of you as today marks the celebration of what for some have been many years in the making. I commend the professionalism of the training staff and their efforts in preparing you for everything you might encounter day one on the streets. And it sounds like next Saturday, December 30th is the first day for the C shift, right? 4 of you? Thank you to the dedicated professionals with our training division and the adjunct instructors who voluntarily take the responsibility of training our ranks. And thank you to our internal staff as well as our partners in other departments around the city. As you can see, onboarding a firefighter, onboarding yourselves here today really takes a village. All of you firefighters graduating today are extremely important to our family of St. Paul firefighters and the residents we serve. Your graduation bolsters our ranks and puts us in a better position to meet the growing needs of our residents. Nothing happens without our most important resource, and that's our people. It is my job as a fire chief to make decisions in the best interests of the residents we serve and the women and men who accept the calling to serve and put their lives at risk daily in the service of others. Across the nation, public safety organizations are struggling with staffing. Departments our size are 50 to 60 firefighters short. There's a national shortage of paramedics, and EMTs are becoming scarcer. Through the support of Mayor Carter and our City Council, I'm proud to say that this class brings us 12 above our authorized strength. And while others are struggling, we have been able to maintain staffing and the level of service our residents and businesses have come to rely on. So thank you. The fire service, EMS, and public safety delivery of services are evolving. You have joined an organization that strives to be ahead of the curve, blazing a path for others to follow. Through my 29 years of service in this department, I've seen real progressive change. Plans are developed and ready for implementation to become more efficient in the delivery of our services, allowing us to be in a better position to absorb the future call volume growth we all know we will see. Thank you to the leadership of this department and the responders on the street for accepting and implementing the many changes that come your way. Thank you. Recruits, my charge to you is to uphold our core values of professionalism, respect, integrity, duty, and equity. Not just in the fire stations or while in the community, but every day of your life, regardless of whether you're in uniform or civilian clothes. Day one of this job, people will welcome you into their homes, hand you one of their children, or share very vulnerable or sensitive things about themselves to you. The public trust the community has in all of us within the public safety was earned by those that came before you and must be maintained by every one of you today. Never betray that trust that the public gives you. 29 years ago, I was given an opportunity to be a firefighter in the city I grew up in and love. Today, I stand before you as your fire chief. You are being given an opportunity to work for the best fire department in the best city, serving the residents and visitors of the capital city. This career will be what you make of it. And all of you have the opportunity to stand where I am. Being a St. Paul firefighter comes with an enormous amount of expectations. We expect you to have a service before self attitude. We expect you to be kind, caring, and compassionate. And we expect you to give back. You were given an opportunity, and there will be a time in your career that you will be in a position to help someone else. Don't forget today. As you progress through your career, don't forget to turn around and help someone else obtain their opportunity. Before I leave the podium, I want to also thank the families, the spouses, including my wife that's here today, Erica, the children, family members, and friends of these new firefighters, and all of our department members. Your enduring sacrifice and the support you give our department allows us to serve our residents with proficiency, compassion, and pride. You keep us grounded, loved, supported, and successful, and we always remember and appreciate that families also serve. May you all have a long and safe career. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chief Inks. My name is Jeremy Maxey. I'm a captain with the St. Paul Fire Department and a training assistant out at the training site here. I kind of help oversee the day-to-day activities of the academy along with our staff and our adjunct instructors that we talked about earlier. A successful firefighter training academy requires a significant team effort. The time investment occurs not only during the actual weeks of the academy, but also months in advance, building on years of training and experience. It is no small feat to provide a recruit academy with all of the training and instruction they need to meet all the hazards that they will be thrown at them, and to do that in 14 weeks. It's nothing short of incredible. I'd like to take a moment to recognize those that made sure your firefighters are ready in every way possible. Please stand when your name is called. Captain Martha Fecht. Martha is the glue that keeps the academies together. She keeps them on time, and she keeps them task-oriented. She has the toughest job, and she does it very well. Training Assistant Brian Buxton. Brian's kind of our jack of all trades. He can fix anything, anytime, anywhere, and if we need it, it works when it's needed. Our adjunct instructors, Captain Patrick Engelman, FEO Ben Ham, Firefighter Meg Emerson, Firefighter Luke Svoboda, and Firefighter Thomas Hilpish. They were our day-to-day instructors that provided knowledge, skills, and motivation, and a few laughs along the way as well, keeping everybody on track throughout the 14 weeks. Without you, these 19 recruits would not be prepared to take the challenge before them. Oh. Sorry. This group, along with many others throughout the department, have taught and mentored, motivated, and guided these 19 graduates. Please give these guys a round of applause as in my speech, but you already did that, so if you want to do that again, we can do it one more time. And I'd like to bring up Captain Engelman, FBO Ham, and Firefighter Emerson to recognize our top recruit.
The fire service in general, and the St. Paul Fire Department in particular, is known for its many traditions. A relatively new tradition that started in 2011 is the selection of a top recruit. The Top Recruit Award is determined by several criteria: academic grades, practical skill grades, training staff review, and a peer review process, where each member of the class ranks all other members of their class in consideration of test scores, leadership, integrity, and character. As we analyzed the numbers for this class, it was a close competition between several individuals who excelled in all the different criteria. One individual did come out on top, though, and we would like to acknowledge, as the class of 2023B top recruit, Firefighter Hoffman. Please join us on stage to be recognized for your success.
Thank you, instructors. There are two other traditions that we include in the graduation ceremonies. The first is elected class speaker. This class elected Merrick Thompson to speak on their behalf. Firefighter Thompson.
Good afternoon. My name is Merrick Thompson, and I'm honored to have been selected as the 2023B Academy Class Speaker. I would first like to recognize all of the people that made today possible. Thank you to Fire Chief Inks, Training Chief Baker, and all the leadership team. Thank you to our instructor cadre and the rest of the training staff for your dedication and passion while preparing us to meet the high demands of this department. Thank you to our families and friends for your never-ending support, and thank you to my fellow cadets for the camaraderie and friendships over the past 14 weeks. As I stand up here today, I can't help but reflect on the first day of the Academy. As we piled into the Academy parking area at 6:30 in the morning, one by one, we got out of our cars and expressed our feelings of anxiety and excitement as we were about to start our first day. Luckily, we weren't experiencing this nervousness alone or as strangers. Most of us started with the St. Paul Fire Department as EMTs with the city's basic life support unit, where we gained valuable experience in emergency medical services, patient care, and the many traditions of the St. Paul Fire Department. Through our time in the BLS division, we were able to create relationships with each other that would last a career. This bond would carry us through the Academy, starting with that moment in the parking lot and visible here today. As some of you have probably heard, the St. Paul Fire Academy is notorious for their physical training. From burpees to running stairs to pushing a fire engine around the training grounds, we were challenged every day in our workouts. But working out was far from the only thing that challenged us. Every day we walked through the door knowing that we were going to learn something new. It didn't matter what day of the week it was or what we were doing that day, you didn't leave the training grounds without learning something new. For some of us, the one thing we learned that day might have been that you can't park your own car in front of a fire hydrant. It wasn't always just the formal training that taught us new things. One of the great things about our class is that we were able to learn from each other. We all came in with different backgrounds, life experience, and knowledge. Some of us brought skills and knowledge from military backgrounds or fire EMT and fire positions. Many brought strengths from what we think of as more ordinary experiences that are just as informative and important, the experiences of being caring members of families and communities. Many of my fellow cadets have children and spouses at home who had to put up with the many hours of studying, sore muscles, and the early morning alarms. We each brought something unique to the Academy, even if sometimes that was the ability to challenge every single test question, even though we knew Captain Fecht would give us a run for our money. One of us even came from a professional culinary background, while some of us fear the day where our cooking will be put to the test in the stations. Today, we take our oath to uphold the ideals and standards of the St. Paul Fire Department. Doing so, we remember why we are here and that fighting fires is a very small part of what we are signing up for. We are embracing a life of service to the City of St. Paul and to its residents and guests. We are providing the highest level of care to all of our communities. We will treat everyone with empathy and compassion, whether it be fires, medical emergencies, vehicle accidents, or calls for anything in between. Such service is not new to the St. Paul Fire Department. We are called to a proud tradition long established by those who we will soon call colleagues. Those of us in the 2023 B Academy will soon have the honor of wearing a uniform that signifies, among other things, professionalism, respect, integrity, duty, and equity. We are humbled and excited to begin our years of service with St. Paul Fire. Thank you.
Thank you, Firefighter Thompson. The second tradition we would like to share with you is a class video. Class video is meant to give you an idea of some of the things your friend or loved one has experienced as part of their academy. Fire Captain Anton Fahrenbach for putting together the video for us. Thank you. Class of 2023B, you're sitting in the seats right now that many people have sought and are still seeking. To be in these seats over the past 14 weeks, you've endured a rigorous and demanding fire academy. You've been pushed in the classroom with seemingly never-ending lessons, materials to digest, tests to pass. You've been pushed in physical training to be in the best shape of your life and exceed your own limits, capable of climbing many flights of stairs and fighting a fire at the top. You've been pushed to adapt and overcome when an obstacle is placed in your path and work as a team throughout it all. You have been pushed and you have succeeded. You will walk out of this academy and this graduation with the skills necessary to save lives, property, and help thousands of people on what may be the worst day of their life. In just a few minutes, you'll be presented with a badge signifying your willingness to put the lives of others before your own. You worked hard for this honor. This badge is not just metal. It's a symbol that carries an obligation to protect and save those in need. We are not giving you a badge. You've earned it and should be proud to wear it. Your successful completion of the Fire Academy is a testament to your work ethic, your passion for this job, and your mental toughness. It is no small accomplishment. The firefighters in the audience today, working on the streets of St. Paul and Minneapolis this very minute, take pride in their jobs. Pride in successfully completing the same academy you just did. Pride in working hard in all facets of the job, and pride in serving and protecting those we come in contact with. Carry that pride and use it to continue the job of being the best firefighter, EMT, or paramedic you can be. Recruits, you are moving on to a new chapter in your career. You are about to be promoted to the position of firefighter. Your challenge from today on is to continue to grow in your knowledge and skill, to stay fit and capable, and to learn each day that you come to work. Recruits, prepare to receive your badges. Yep. They'll come in as they come. Right here would be great. You're fine where you're at. Right? Thomas Baker. Jamie. Olivia Grace Brown. Sure. Mason Carlson. Conrad Cordova III. Tyler Gaskill. I promise you we practiced. Thomas Heesh. Zachary Hoffman. Matthew Hunter. Matthias Kauto. Ryan Larson. Samuel Martinez. William O'Brien. Joseph Quast. Polo Ramirez. Kelton Rintamaki. Merrick Thompson. Haley Vance. Samuel Winnagel. Max Lukoski. Firefighter Lukoski, I'd like you to remain on stage. Pinning a badge on the left chest of a firefighter for the very first time is an honor in itself. Firefighter Lukoski comes from a line of firefighters who have a proud tradition of their own, and we would like to invite them on stage along with the leadership of Minneapolis Fire, if they so wish, to pin the badge on now Firefighter Lukoski for the first time. Chief Inks will now administer the firefighter's oath.
If I can have you raise your right hand. I state your name. Solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States. That of the state of Minnesota. All ordinances of the city of St. Paul. And the rules and regulations of this department. I will strive to maintain a spirit of teamwork and cooperation with all personnel. I will seek to give only the highest example of honesty, integrity, and good citizenship. I understand my behavior on and off duty affects the reputations of all firefighters. I will at all times uphold the highest standard of a professional firefighter and the proud traditions of the St. Paul Fire Department. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can present the class of 2023B. Congratulations.